When it comes to being yourself, people can tell when you're not being yourself. Whether they realize it or not, we have all sorts of micro expressions, visual cues, let alone energy cues, that tell us when someone is lying. And this can be anything from a big lie to just lying to yourself about who you are. And it's funny to me because I watch people try to live up to stereotypes. And it's just so obvious that they're trying to be something they're not. And that's going to be more off-putting to almost everybody than being yourself, even if you think that's awkward or even if that doesn't live up to a stereotype of whatever it is you're trying to work your way into. You know, it's one of those things where I talk about the fact that we never want to compare ourselves to who anyone else is. We want to compare ourselves to who we were yesterday, if we're going to compare ourselves to anything. And so we can use people, things as examples of inspiration of places we want to be similar to, but we will never be able to duplicate something the way someone else did because we're not them. So it's never going to be identical anyway. So when it comes to having things as inspiration, having people as inspiration for what we're aiming for, recognizing that if it's not coming naturally, it's probably best you let it go. For instance, witches have a laugh, stereotypically, if you're thinking about the stereotypes of things. And that doesn't mean that all witches laugh with a cackle like the Wicked Witch of the West. Spiritual gurus, you think of them, what do you think of? A certain type of dress. Hippies, that's another thing that I think of when I think of how people dress in a particular style and have a particular attitude. But we're all better off when we try something on, if it doesn't fit us, if it doesn't feel natural, to let it go. Because we can be anything we want in any combination of anything else we want at the same time. And any other combination of what we want to be whenever we want. Because the more you can learn what is naturally you, the more you can be what is naturally you, the better off you're going to be. If you want to be a witch, but you don't have a cackle, that's fine. If you want to be anything, but are missing a piece that you would stereotypically associate with that way of being, that's okay. That's more than okay. You know, I am a fun-loving, spiritual-based, spirit having a temporary human experience. I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan. I make sure that I source my meat responsibly and I'm getting meat from, yeah, well, that responsibly sourced kind of covers it, doesn't it? You know? There's all sorts of There are all sorts of things that we try to do in life where we find ourselves amongst other people, and there seems to be this stereotypical way of how to be that. And I guarantee you, you're going to be miserable. You're going to know you're lying. You're going to know something doesn't feel right. And other people will too. And you're not going to be impressing anybody because they're going to know too. So whenever you have an aim of anything you're shooting for in life, just recognize that that might look different for you than it does someone else, which is why we should never be comparing ourselves to who anyone else is today. We should always be comparing ourselves to who we were yesterday. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself very uncomfortable. And you're going to be making other people uncomfortable. We have this, like, we as human beings, especially in this day and age, have this weird idea that, like, we're supposed to fit into these boxes to be around people we want to be around. And that's just not the case. And if it is, then those are probably people you don't want to be around anyway. So just watch yourself. It reminds me of, like, I was just watching a TV show the other day, and it's one of those stereotypical scenarios where somebody's got an earpiece in their ear, and she's getting dating advice from the person in her ear, and the person says, laugh at whatever he says, and he, like, asks her name or something like that, and then she goes, and it's really obvious that, like, that wasn't something to laugh at. That's not the response. Just don't let people make you feel like you need to be anything other than yourself, because if they're making you feel that way, they're not people you want to be around anyway. And sometimes in life, there are things that we're aiming for that we're just naturally not meant to hit that mark. And that's okay. You don't have to fit every stereotype of whatever you're aiming for. And again, if there are people making you feel like you do need to live up to some sort of standard that just really doesn't fit you, they're not people you want to be around anyway. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me for another video. I'm Anne Blackwood, your Silicon Valley Sage Sister, here to bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler, and I hope I was able to do that for you today. Don't forget to subscribe, because I still need a few more subscribers to get my custom URL. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description, including my Patreon, where we are getting into my Spirituality 2.0 series, as well as I am upgrading my Intuitive Lifestyle course. There's also my mailing list, which is going to be going out in the next couple of days. I do one email a month. That's it. And I have my one-on-one form for a free clarity call. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, I have 7 out of my 13 spots available. And I would like very much to help you heal, grow, and expand. So all you have to do is fill out that free form, the form's free, so is the clarity call. They're both free. All you have to do is fill out the form for the free clarity call, or email me. My email's in there as well, and my Instagram is in there as well, where I post every single day something. May the energy you serve you well, and let's keep making our way through.